Hi, I'm Atdhe. Welcome back on IoT Forensics. Since we are talking about the data storage and location, it's important to know on IoT Forensics that some of the evidence artifacts where we might be finding, and since we are dealing with IoT device, we might be considering a lot of different directions and a lot of different sources of evidences. Over this video, I'm going to try to demonstrate how we would be able to find those evidences by using scripting languages, so JSON files, log files, where we would be able to identify a lot of information, something that I'm going to show it to you right away. Here we have a JSON file, a log sample that was taken as a sample from a Bluetooth tracking application that was using a sensor. So here would be the sample of this kind of realistic Bluetooth and low energy BLE, just a log file for that tracking that application might generate. So evidence is that we would be able to track. So here I have highlighted some of the fields that would be important. So whenever you would get hands on such kind of log files, you might be finding some very important evidence artifacts. First of all, we would be seeing all the timestamp. So that would be the thing that the very first beginning evidence that I wanted to have. And then device name. So Fitbit Pro, a typical sensor that we use, the wearable ones. And then device ID. So it would be that MAC address that would identify as device ID. And of course, a lot of things that would be included within the topics of artifacts and relevant IoT forensics, we could be finding those, of course, by using the digital forensics tools, which I'm going to show you within the next recording of this video. And then you would know, of course, something as a location we set. Sometimes the GPS location feature might be utilized within that sensor, and that would just enhance more data evidences would provide more valuable evidence when it comes to the location. And those would be part of the metadata too of that file. And then you would have also for others. Here you might see the device name is TechnoTrack, wireless sensor networks, something like that. And of course, other device names that would be shown here at timestamp that was generated. And here I have an Autopsy. So an Autopsy, a digital forensic tool that I'm able to use to investigate further evidences like image files or VMs, virtual disks, all those evidence files that needed for further to analyze. And in this case, I have an IoT disk image that I already loaded here on the Autopsy. And in this case, we're going to need this for further investigation since we are talking for the data storage and location. So those might be the things that you would check. So on the tree view on the left side, you would have all the data sources that you would be listed. And then within this image file, we see that we have a lot of different volumes that would be created. And you would have more description on that. So in this case, I'm going to use some tips and tricks on Autopsy. So using Autopsy keyword search would be one of them, where we would be looking, for example, since we are dealing with IoT, and I took this image of this disk from IoT environment from a gateway that is running MQTT protocol for the IoT sensor, I'm going to just use the keyword search on, for example, on MQTT. So that would be searching. So exact match, searching all over. If that would be enabled, you would be able. In this case, I haven't enabled the search module, which is an ingest module within an Autopsy that runs this keyword search. And what other things that you can do with Autopsy would be, you could look on a file view, so you would know the file types that might exist by extension, so that you would know, so it's still counting. So we have some audio and video file and images too. So this way you would just deep dive more and see what would be those images and all those evidence files that you would be using to conduct timeline constructions and investigate that whole further use case, that case that you are in it investigating. So, and then you would see the results of each one of those here. So this would be a typical use of the Autopsy that we would be able to use. So we wanted to investigate further. So this would be the same way as we do with the other devices, but in this case, since we are on the IoT file digital forensics, and then we will do it. So we'll see a deleted file that was deleted on this file system, and that would show us all those deleted files, and we'll be able to recover those and see what was in that, and if those would related reference to our case. And then the tag. So whatever you put as a tag, for example, here on a deleted file system, and then you might be right-clicking and add file tag, and you would be just adding as a follow-up tag. So that would show you, would collect the whole tags that you have put it all over your data source, in this case, image file, and then you can go back and have those and even save those and export to a CSV format. So this way, and then whenever you would generate a report, you would have that include all those tags that you would be putting all over those evidence files that would be valuable, even considering those are valuable. And when you would do this, so you would do this whenever you would do a process that is named triage, that you would filter you valuable things that you be related to your case as an evidence, and the things that would not have so much matter and value on your case. So that way you would be doing this. And whenever you would want to have a report, that would be naming report and then data source, and you would have those tags that would be shown here. So I just added one follow-up, and I'm going to have it in that one. So whenever the report is generated, I might be able to see that and have that as a part of this report. So here would be the report. So you would have the tags filed here. So as and yes, this would be that. And the more things that you would be able to have and do with the Autopsy. But this would be very valuable tool for digital forensics investigators, and it will serve some good also at the IoT forensics too.